like it to be there. It's probably like my second, third, or fourth office. We actually had a clean sweep today, and I'm on my way back to the office. Very successful clean sweep. We were in the North District. I want to thank Councilman Columbic. We were in the North District on Wednesday as well, and was able to help many different individuals within the community. Big shout out to the Mayor's Impact team and our building inspectors and all sorts of folks there. But clean sweeps continue. We are almost towards the end. We are at our last quarter of clean sweeps, and we've been pretty effective in doing that too. And so again, welcome to our block chat. Just excited to see it. This is probably like my favorite hour of the week, because I get a chance to see you guys, but also share some of the things that everyone here is doing, working in conjunction with the Board of Block Clubs. I see Linda Gelman's there. We'll get a chance to hear from the fantastic things that they're doing, and also the up and coming meeting that if you don't know anything, you should be attending that block club meeting. But I'll let Linda talk a little more about that too. And so again, this been a good week, and meeting up with everybody. And again, I just want to say thank you. I am now going to pass this over to Nicole, and Nicole's going to take us through. I'm going to run up to my office, and Nicole, why don't you take us through the rest? Okay.
Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to our weekly Friday meeting. We hope that you guys continue to keep joining us. I'm going to present you guys with the announcements and go through it pretty quickly because we have a wonderful speaker today with a lot of information. So let me know if you guys can see my PowerPoint. Are you guys able to see it? Okay, perfect. Okay, so we just want to still reiterate, if you're unable to pay rent or you need any help with emergency rental assistance, you can visit standupbuffalo.com or call 211. And if you need help with your application or want to know if you qualify, the numbers are listed here on the screen. As well as there is going to be a place where you can get some assistance available. Schiller Park Senior Center. This is going to be Monday, September 20th, 12 to 4, and masks are required as we are indoors. If you want to sign up for public service announcements for the city of Buffalo, you can text join Buffalert to 30890. If you're just interested in getting the parking updates, especially once the weather starts to turn, you can text join parking updates. So join is one word, parking updates is one word, to that same 30890. There is a radio show every Sunday at 1 p.m. with Mayor Byron Brown, Talk of the Town. You can catch us on his Facebook or on WUFO or Power 96.5. Here in the Division of Citizen Services, we are accepting applications for VISTAs. If you know somebody who would make a great AmeriCorps VISTA, or if you are interested yourself, please reach out to us here. You can send an email or you can go online and apply. PAL is hosting Play Streets. There was a fall edition. There is still the Saturday, September 18th left at AME Church. You do have to register online, so you can go on buffalopal.com to register. And they're also presenting flag football for the season. You have to be between 8 and 14, and you have to register by today at buffalopal.com as well. And the program starts tomorrow. There's a free assistance for creating wills and estate planning hosted by Majority Leader Crystal Peoples-Stokes. This is going to be Saturday, where your intake is Saturday, September 18th, and the execution is November 6th. So this workshop, you can RSVP by contacting the number on the screen below, 897-9714. Bulk trash fall schedule is out. We're coming up on South District, so we always just remind everybody, of course, please put your bulk trash out on that Sunday, and they have that week to collect it, so you don't want to wait after that Sunday, just in case they come to your street anytime during that week. If you are looking to start a block club, please reach out to the Buffalo and Erie County Board of Block Clubs. They listed their email, bobcbuffalo@gmail.com, or contact them by Facebook and Instagram, or you can give them a call as well. They're also going to be having a Board of Block Clubs meeting Thursday, September 23rd at Thursday, September 23rd, at Schiller Park Community Center, at 6:30 p.m. And they do have a guest speaker, Univera Healthcare. So tonight there is family movie night at Riverside Park. They're going to be posting Mulan, and so it runs from 8 to 10. And then there's going to be Fillmore Family Weekend at the Buffalo Heritage Council at Canal Side, so September 25th and 26th, and that runs from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You get solar-powered carousel, free ice cream, and more. If you are curious about e-biking, don't want to use your car, or just want to try a different mode of transportation, you can go to the e-bike library. It is a library, so you borrow the e-bike, you don't have to rent it. And if you want to find out more about this, you can find out more from the Eastside Bike Club's e-bike library program. And you can get involved and find out more by going on their website, esbcbuffalo.com. And then additionally, if you do need help replacing your roof, NeighborWorks has a partial grant available through October 15th of this year. There are qualified roof projects, and there are a few details that do have to be met in order to get a grant. And you can find out more about this on the NeighborWorks Community Partners website as well. We are doing a walk in solidarity to honor Neil Dobbins, September 25th, and to protest the Tiahrt Amendment, or to bring awareness to the Tiahrt Amendment. And it's a solidarity walk to reduce gun violence. And this is going to be at East Ferry and Fillmore, and the walk is to MLK Park. If you would like to learn how to build a healthy lifestyle but are on a limited budget, there are virtual classes being offered, led by a professional nutritionist. And this is every Tuesday at 6 p.m. from September 21st to October 26th. They're free and open to the public. As well as there will be a Schiller Park Harvest Fest Friday, October 15th. 4 to 7 p.m. at Schiller Park Senior Center. Of course, join in celebrating fall harvest with free food, prize giveaways, raffles, and more. And just the last few events of this month, Beats and Bites at the Bradwick. This includes food truck, local vendors, favorite DJs, music performances, 4 through 7 every Thursday through the end of this month, September 30th. Come join MVP and get fresh produce. This is Fridays from 10 to 2 at New Hope Baptist Church at Genesee and Kearns. And then, of course, the mobile market is on Tuesdays at Jericho Road Community Health Center between 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. And just wrapping up, of course, just reminding everybody COVID is still in existence. You can find information about COVID-19 at our city website, COVID-19 at buffalony.gov. And you can also find out information about both the vaccine.
Yeah, we just did a clean sweep.
Vaccination, as well as
I don't know your number.
testing.
I love you.
Sorry about that, everybody. You can find out information about the vaccine and testing as well, and different resources available to you throughout the city of Buffalo, and as well as links to state site. And we also have some information about the emotional support helpline, which is open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 7 p.m. And this is through Project Hope at the Buffalo Urban League. So that's a wonderful, wonderful resource for COVID as well. And of course, in closing, we do have our social media to follow. So we have our Citizen Services Facebook, our 311 Call and Response Center Facebook, and both of those are Buffalo Citizen Services. You can find us, and you can find us at Buffalo 311. We also have an Instagram, which is also Buffalo 311. And if you don't follow the mayor, please also follow the mayor at Mayor Byron Brown on Facebook. And so, Oz, I am going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Nicole. A lot of great information. As you can see, I have changed my location, so I was able to make it upstairs in a good enough time. We will also be sharing that information out with residents in terms of all of the great things that are happening with our community-based organizations, our block clubs, and all throughout the city. As I mentioned, one of the reasons why we started was to share information and try to be as transparent with the Office Division of Citizen Services, and also our great partners with the Board of Block Clubs. It's been great. I am going to also mention that next Wednesday, we're going to be doing our last power pop-up, and we're going to be doing it in conjunction with Buffalo Police Department, called Taking It Back to the Streets, in conjunction with the Board of Block Clubs. It's going to be Wednesday, and we're going to be in the Niagara District, and we are going to be at the Massachusetts Avenue Park. We've been working with residents and MAP and community organizations with that park. We've made some investments in terms of that park, and so we want to let the residents know, because that's such a focal point within that community. So we're inviting vendors, we're inviting people to come out, and that's going to be on the 29th. We're going to start with a clean sweep early in the morning. We're going to be done around 12. We'll have lunch out for everybody, and we'll start with having vendors and everyone there, and we'll have a great time with residents in the community. And so looking forward to seeing you there. Let me take this time to introduce our speaker. What a timely opportunity that we have. And when I say timely, I think we all have experienced the challenges of COVID, right, and the pandemic, and the challenges that it has upon individuals, but also families and a community. On top of that, issues of isolation. On top of that, this day-to-day things that normally we would just be going through, still challenged, but adding all of that. And so we thought it worthy to invite the Buffalo Urban League, who is a trusted partner within the city of Buffalo. And they have a very special program that deals with folks who are challenged regarding mental health and other aspects of what we do. And so I'm going to invite Melissa Archer, who is heading up that initiative within the Urban League, to talk a little bit about that particular program and also the challenges that we experience. But also, I say challenges, but there's help. I think we don't need to think that we're in it by ourselves. But you want to make sure that you get help by folks who are in that field, who are trained. And so I am going to leave it off to Melissa. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. Why don't you take us through the rest of our Black Chat?
Good. Well, thank you all for having me. I'm so honored to be here today. COVID definitely has shaken up the status quo on so many different levels. And as you stated, children, families, societies, where we've all been affected. From the smallest minute detail to everything in between. So Dylan, I wanted to break it down, maybe like children and youth and teens, because sometimes we don't look at them and they don't know how to express themselves. So they basically have like unique vulnerabilities during any disaster, right? And the COVID pandemic really has punctuated all of that. And how a child or a teen or responds is usually based on their age, their development, their environment, how their caregivers, whether it's their parent or guardians, their stress level, how they respond, the unpredictability of the future. All these things can be very traumatic. And how it comes out in children is they can't sleep. They have, excessive amount of fear and worry, difficulty separating from their parents, loss of skills. Younger kids, they may lose skills in terms of being able to go to the bathroom, independent play, or they just may act out. But as you stated, there is hope, right? For the younger population, reassuring them, spending time with them, just being present as a parent, as a guardian. Also, having a routine. Everybody's back in school at this point. You have to have a routine. Routine provides structure. It provides, it's predictable. And then, there are rules, but we should also provide space for them to express their feelings about everything in those rules. Also, another way we can support youth is building tolerance towards their regression or towards the acting out, because this is normal. This is normal behavior to a stressor, to a pandemic. This is normal. And in teens, difficulty sleeping, they may withdraw. They might not want, they might be guarded, anger, they're very angry sometimes, irritable, they're acting out. And maybe start engaging in, risky behaviors like with alcohol or drugs or, you know, whatever the case may be. Once again, there's hope, spending time with them, flexibility, communication, letting them lead where they want, the conversation to go, and just being there for them, like as a soft landing. So that's the youth and the teens. And, one thing I tell, I just did a group today with a bunch of young adults and teens. And I said, I wish somebody had taught me about self-care when I was young and about not coping strategies, but it's all one and the same, but like self-care strategies, like when you're stressed, reading a book, going for a walk, listening to music, taking a nap, even doing nothing. Just something that's intentional that you do every single day for yourself to help you kind of like get back to baseline. I said, imagine where we would be now if we learned that and it became part of our practice, just the same as I get up and eat dinner, I get up and eat breakfast, I brush my teeth. That is baked into our everyday practice of being human. Things would have just been so much different. We would have, you look through a different lens when you are not as stressed. You respond differently when you are not stressed. You have better coping strategies, and therefore, physically, we're healthier, mentally we're healthier, emotionally we're healthier. So my message to parents or caregivers or guardians is, try to bake that into your child's that's in your care into their everyday. And it doesn't have to be a long drawn out thing. It can be 5 minutes, it can be 5 hours, whatever time frame you have. But just doing that. Now for young adults and for young adults and older adults and seniors, just staying connected. We need to make sure we're still reaching out. He mentioned that isolation, that's a real thing. We said 6 feet apart, 3 feet apart, because this COVID pandemic is real. So that isolation has become another thing that can cause our mental health, emotional health, and physical health to deteriorate. So staying connected, daily routines, helping others, staying active. Once again, breathing, relaxing, trying new things, all those self-care strategies. And these are things that we can do that cost no money, that we can do at home, that we can do by ourselves and with others, that isn't a heavy lift. So these are definitely, some basic things that we can do. Now, if someone feels that, or a loved one sees that, or a friend sees that, while we're staying connected, that someone is not, they're not responding, or maybe there's something else going on, that's when you should definitely call, a healthcare provider, a mental health care provider that has been trained to, guide this person through this journey to get them to a healthier state. And if it's a crisis situation, that's why we have crisis services. That's why we have, 911. That's why we have the program that I represent at the Buffalo Urban League called New York Project Hope. I did see our flyer there, so I was very happy about that. And I can segue right into that. New York Project Hope is a statewide crisis counseling program to help New Yorkers navigate the changes caused by COVID. And Buffalo Urban League is one of the local provider agencies of New York Project Hope in Erie County. It is managed by the New York State Office of Mental Health, and it's funded by FEMA. Federal dollars, Federal Emergency Management Agency, because they know the challenges that we have facing, COVID, the emotional challenges, the mental health challenges, which spills into everything else, correct? So the challenges and uncertainty of COVID-19 can cause people to feel stressed, anxious, isolated, scared, angry, sad. And those are just like the major things. There's so many other, emotions that people are feeling. And we have an emotional support helpline with crisis counselors that have been trained through FEMA and OMH training programs. And we're culturally and linguistically sensitive. So we have many different languages represented. English, Spanish, Somali, Arabic, Chinese, so that we can meet the needs of our communities and looking for more. And we do have the language line if we needed that as well. But through our emotional support helpline, we do a lot of public education, crisis counseling. We help people understand their situations and reactions, identify, label, and express their emotions. Sometimes we have these emotions and we don't know what we're even feeling. And we don't know the words to go with it. We don't know how to express it in a positive way that will benefit us, and take the temperature down, as I like to say. We help you regain a sense of mastery and control, make decisions and take action, develop coping strategies. Sometimes when you ask somebody what do they do to cope when they have a bad day, what do you do? Do you talk? Do you have somebody you can talk to? Do you journal? Do you walk? Do you take a nap? Do you take a shower? What do you do for yourself every day? Give you strategies on how to manage stress, to adjust to the pandemic losses, and we provide tons of community resources from everything. I saw the ERAP program you all mentioned. We utilize that a lot for individuals that are having challenges paying their rent, to if they don't have, they're having challenges securing diapers or formula or anything in between. We have those resources available to them. Like I said, our COVID emotional support services, the main three things we do are crisis counseling, resource linkages, public educations, and we do groups. We just did a couple of groups. I just came from one, and the groups are really where you really get into the nuts and bolts, and it can be specific to gun violence. It could be specific to, COVID and gun violence, COVID and grief, COVID and anxiety of going back to school. Like over the summer, we did over 300 students, youth, and over several different school districts regarding resilience, right? Resilience helps us bounce back, and children, we have to teach them that, because it doesn't matter if it's this crisis or another one, we're going to face crises. Our services are free, confidential, and anonymous, so there's no demographics taken. We don't get in anybody's business. We're just there to help you because you're a human being and you need help. Our emotional support on Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. We have trained crisis counselors, and our number is 716-250-2478. And like I said, you guys do have a flyer on there, so it is on your site. The state New York Project Hope Helpline is open every single day from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And it's 1-844-863-9314. And we're always available. And you can find us on the Buffalo Urban League website as well for any additional support materials or coping tips or relaxation strategies. You can also go to newyorkprojecthope.org. Like I said, you'll always find a crisis counselor on the other line, and we have team leaders and myself that, have psych history and psych degrees that, wherever our crisis counselors need, if they feel like, this needs to be, have a little bit more attention, a little bit more care, we're all collectively working together to make sure that every COVID survivor is given the support and linkages, whatever they need, we figure out a way to make it happen. And that's it. We're just here to help and want to give as much as we can, because the COVID isn't going anywhere. So we have to learn to adapt and coexist with it so that we can get on the other end of this and live just, our best life. That's it. Thank you so much.
Melissa, thank you very much. And I was talking to Melissa. I'm so impressed because Melissa had a PowerPoint and she was going to show it. She went right off and I appreciate you, Melissa. There's a couple of questions that people wanted to ask.
Oh, absolutely.
A couple of things is people are wondering, are you a physician or a nurse?
I just became a psychiatric nurse practitioner, psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. Just got my license. I'm studying for my boards. So I am nurse. Well, in between, doctors are and nurse practitioners and physician assistants were mid-level practitioners. So yeah, we can do.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
so
you.
that was a question that someone asked.
Okay.
also, when you're talking about the one-on-one counseling and that, um, I there's what you do. How can people? What are some of the? I think you talked about this. Some of the telltale signs that we can identify that I mean, you don't want to start calling on everybody, but what are if you can go back to that? What are some of the things that? Because sometimes you teeter. Maybe some people just need somebody to talk with, right? Okay, we're going to do that.
Right.
But how do you know when to take it to the next level?
Yeah. So if I have a crisis, I mean, a COVID survivor, which we all are. I have a COVID survivor that I'm doing one-on-one with, and they just start talking, and we're not in the business to tell people what to do or how to live or how to, we do everything kind of strength-based. So we want to see what resources they have within themselves, what they've used before. So say if someone is standing in front of me or my crisis counselors or us or the team or the management team, and they're saying things like they're just not enjoying things anymore and they don't want to be around people, or they might just say they want to kill themselves. Then we know we need to get crisis services involved. We need to obviously stay with the person, maybe try to get them into, not get them into CPAP, but give them the resources and make sure that maybe 911 or crisis service mobile unit get them involved so they can get them to that point. It all depends on where they're at, and we read the body language. Nonverbals are very important. What they're presenting with. If you have someone that maybe we've engaged them once or twice before, and then we engage them again, and they're unkempt, they haven't showered in a while, they're not meeting our eyes, they're not engaging, they're withdrawing, then it's like, okay, we need to take it to the next step. And
Now,
it's the whole picture. And then we don't just do it one-on-one. Like there was one instance where I literally had to bring the whole team, and I had to think of the crisis counselor, a specific crisis counselor that would work with this particular kid that we were working with, and ended up getting he was already engaged to have some services with mental health, but ended up at CPAP by the time we were done, because I mean, right in front of us, was having an episode, a mental health crisis. So, it's a team effort. It starts off with just the crisis counselor, and if they, from all the trainings and discussions that we have, a lot of supervisor one-on-one meetings as well with the staff. They know that when something is, they feel like it needs escalation, even if I'd rather they be safe than sorry, they will call one of the team leaders and/or myself, and then we take the team approach.
good. No, that's great.
Person in a safe space. Yeah.
No, I think that's great. I think we had a situation at our clean sweeps today where we were knocking on doors and talking to folks, and a gentleman presented in a very precarious way, and then just self-admitted that I need help, and I'm grateful because our office has offered to organizations and block clubs. We went through the mental health first aid training, for
Yes.
community members. Actually, we have quite a few members here in terms of block clubs who've attended that. And for me, to be quite honest, that it was just only a little bit, but to me, it was a lot. And I'm a person that go through trainings and always try to self better, especially as a public servant. You want to be at your very best. That was probably one of the best trainings that I ever had. It just equipped me with, again, recognizing how to communicate, how to what to do, and what we've been doing is offering that training with other folks. And again, quite a few of us have, at least gives us a vocabulary, gives us an awareness of what to see. COVID, obviously, but COVID fatigue is something too. I'm a survivor. I would love to tell you that there are days that I can't remember. I'm not thinking about COVID, but it's impressed upon me, and I think it stays a little bit, and I got COVID early on, so there obviously is the physical aspect of it, but I tell people that the mental aspect was just as challenging, if not more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you're here to talk.
Well, I am glad
I'm
too. I
glad
think,
you're here.
well, I tell you this, and I don't want to get too choked up, but this very group helped me through it. I think one of the things when you're going through challenges is realize that you're not alone. And I can look at each and every one here on this block chat who, was just there for me, and it meant a lot, and it continues to do. When we say we growing this general sense of community, I think people look at intervention as a one-time thing, right? And I think what you're saying is over a period of time, you're there, but that person's still coming back to the community. And what is the community's response, right? And what is your community, right? How do
What
you
is your
define
community?
that? How that community defines you, and so this is
Absolutely.
very, very important. Any questions? I'm sorry, go ahead, please, Melissa. No.
No, I'm just saying that was key, what you said. You had the block chat community, so you stayed connected. And a lot of people kind of retreat, especially if they do get COVID. They may retreat and feel, especially right now, with all the, unvaccinated, all the stuff in the media, they were unvaccinated. I know a couple of people that recently had, and they were unvaccinated, and they kind of like retreated, like, and just so, I don't know if it's shame or whatever it is, but it's taking a mental toll on everyone. So it's really, really important for us as adults and caregivers and to really take care of ourselves so we can take care of our youth, so that we can, when we get on the other side of this, we're still going to be here. We want to make sure that we're still kind of intact. We're going to have some changes and some more knowledge, some more savviness about things, but we still want to be mentally and emotionally intact.
Well, I definitely tried to retreat. I'm not going to tell you that I didn't. I am, an introvert living in a very extroverted world. So, but again, when I see Debbie or I see, Linda and those folks, and even my staff, they hang in there with me, so which is a good thing. Any questions, Melissa? For Melissa, this is just a lot of good stuff, and those types of supports. And just I'm kind of looking here. If there's any, or if you want to unmute and ask any questions, please do.
So you guys have the hotline. Did you say that you did groups, or is like the Project Hope solely really focused on the hotline aspect?
No, we do everything. So we have a helpline. So we have crisis counselors on the helpline. Then we also do groups. We do presentations. We do compassionate presence at events. Everything. We've gone door to door with the Erie County Department of Health and talked about vaccine. And it was a lot of different departments. It was a housing department. It was, the mental health with us, and emotional mental health with us, and all. And I think we even had a doctor one time. We're just going door to door, just talking to people, chatting with people. They can see like we're here, and we're coming to them, meeting them where they're at. So yeah, we do a lot. Like when I look back, I'm like, oh my goodness. And we just started and it's in beta form. We just started an online platform, because some people might, with things, might start getting kind of nervous about being out in public. So we got one for teens, I think young adults and seniors that we're working on right now to provide all kind of strategies. And sometimes people just need to talk and to vent. And sometimes we do get calls where they just want to vent.
Good. Melissa, we're going to reach out. I know
Yes.
Nicole's going to reach out to you. She has a mental health background or
Yes.
a counseling background. And we have been looking at different organizations or vendors to do something to provide some mental health relief for residents in the community. So I'd like to team up with you in that respect too. So couple of questions. I'll start with Francesca and go back. She said, what kind of platform? It sounds like, Francesca, they're still developing that platform, right? Or
Yeah, it's an online platform. So it's like an online support group
okay.
where, well, we have one for teens and young adults and seniors, and we're developing other ones as well. And we collaborate with community organizations all the time because we're co-located at 1021 Broadway, and we're part of the Care Management Coalition with Mental Health Advocates of Western New York, Parent Network, EPIC, all those different organizations. We all share a space. So, it's a Buffalo Urban League is a satellite there. And so anything, we're more than willing to collaborate, be a part of anything that you all will figure out a way to make sure we're there so that we can help people.
And I think that's the next question in terms of, so Debbie Lombardo is the president of the Board of Block Clubs. And I think she's asking, do you offer classes for some of the procedures of people in the community? And would you be willing to attend the event? I think that both of those answers are yes. And
Yes.
so,
Yes, ma'am.
she'll put her information in the chat and people will be able to follow up, especially that 1-800 number in terms of any kind of, challenges too. And then we've talked earlier, so we're definitely going to invite you to our clean sweeps. Again, I think we handled it well today, and I big shout out to Debbie Estrada, who works at work in conjunction with the police. She does border community services at Niagara University.
It's Dana.
Dana is the Dana. What did I say? What did I say?
Debbie.
Debbie.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Dana, and then also Officer Coco, who was just extremely knowledgeable and did all of the right things and people around it. So it was, but again, we want to invite you to come to our clean sweeps, and we have, I think, 9 of them still left.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, we do it every Wednesday, and we're out knocking on doors and talking to people. Any other quick questions that we want to?
Hello, this is
Hey.
Ellen. I
Hey,
just
Ellen.
wanted to say I apologize if you heard me talking on the phone, but I couldn't get in through the link, so I tried to get in through the number, and I didn't know I was on. And I ran into my niece, so I was just saying shout out. But I wanted to ask Melissa, do you have a website?
Yeah, so you can go to newyorkprojecthope.org. And that is it's OMH managed, but that is our platform, everything that we do. And it has everything on there from coping strategies to you name it. It's very, very well done. And that's what we go through. Yes.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome, Miss Ellen.
Good. Anything else? Just trying to. This is the website, right? If people can see it.
Yes, that's New York Project Hope. Yes, that's
Mhm.
where we live. And that's the 1844 number in New York State that's open. I think it's 7 days a week, yeah, from 8 to 10. And then our local through the Buffalo Urban League. So the crisis counselors are under our local is under the Buffalo Urban League is one of the
Okay.
services. So our number is 250-2478, and it's on that flyer that you have of ours. You had one of our flyers when you were doing
Yeah,
the
we did. We had that up. So
Mhm.
just wanted to let people know how extensive this webpage is, and you can go in there, and it's a great resource. So I just wanted to put that up there, let people see that.
Yeah.
And great. I think, and Debbie again put it in the chat. She's having a meeting, and you'll hear her. She's going to talk a little bit about that at Schiller Park for that. So Melissa, I just want to say thank you very much for providing us with needed, timely, and very important information. I think even when we are out of this pandemic, I think COVID will still be around. When I say that, the effects of that in terms of our mental challenges, how we are living, how we look at each other, how we communicate with each other. So I think how we cope with each other is a learned experience, right? It's always been. And so this is no different. And so having professionals like you and your staff and understanding how we learn to cope with each other is how we get through life. So I just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Love the opportunity to spread the word.
We will. And so I am now going to bring on Debbie or I see
Hi.
Debbie who's
Yeah,
here. Hey Debbie, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Great clean sweep today. A lot of interaction with residents today, so it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. So Board of Block Clubs is having their meeting on September 23rd at the Schiller Park Senior Center, and it starts at 6:30. So we're hoping that everybody can stop out and visit us and hear new and exciting things that are happening. There's also going to be an event on October 15th at the Schiller Park Senior Center, hosted by Floss Avenue Block Club and also Board of Block Clubs in the city and the Councilman Bowman over there. So, you know, a lot of stuff is happening, a lot of great things are happening, and block clubs are starting. We just started a couple of new ones very recently. So tonight I'm heading over to another one that's possibly going to be starting. So we're excited. Wonderful things are happening in this great city of ours, and you know, block clubs are the way. It's the way of the world right now. It's how we keep everybody knowing what's going on and everybody active, and you know, keeping in touch with one another. So building our neighborhoods block by block. That's what we do. So I'm pretty excited about all the wonderful things happening and for this time. And you know, Nicole's always sharing our flyers, and she shares my work flyer for me. So as you've got great people, it's always a joy to work with Citizen Services. My 9 years with you guys have really been pretty fast. And I don't have the camera on because walking the clean sweep today, my hair became a frizz and I looked like a hot mess. So I decided I think I'm just going to stay off video today. But that's it for us. Some of my team members are on here. I see Linda. Well, I don't see him, but Linda's on, Ellen's on. You know, so good things. I see Miss Della. We've talked on the phone recently. So thank you so much for everything and for giving us this time to share your space, and great presentation. Please reach out to me. I'd love to learn more and get you to come to, you know, maybe a block club meeting or something.
Would love that. Absolutely.
Great. Me too. Thank you.
So
That's
let
it
me
for me.
also, as we're getting ready to leave, MVP is doing a job fair October 2nd at the Ferry Grider Homes, and that's from 12:30 to 3 p.m. That's this Saturday. And there's a lot of things that are going on. I had an opportunity yesterday to go to 2 or 3 block clubs and all community meetings. Was in Ken Langfield and talked about doing things there too. So a lot of good stuff. Debbie, can't say enough about you and with the Board of Block Clubs and your organization and what they do. You're taking it to another level, but you really stand on the feet and toes of those organizations that make a difference. And so thank you for sharing this. This is another save the date. This is a walk to honor Neil Dobbins. But if you knew Neil, he would be like, don't walk to honor me. There's the Terre-Haute Amendment and creating awareness and solidarity to reduce gun violence. And that's going to be East Ferry and Fillmore, MVP. And Neil would tell you, make sure that we're creating awareness. There's a lot of things that we do in the community to affect. You can keep that up if you want. There's a lot of things that we do to affect people in the community, but you got to know about the policies, right? You got to know about things that our electeds or our community members need to affect some change in. And that Terre-Haute Amendment is extremely important. And also about this reducing gun violence. These guns are just not walking itself into our community. And you know, gun violence is something that is near and dear to, when I say near and dear to me, it's having been affected by it. You know, I would say about almost 16 years ago, I was in a situation where a young man pointed a gun at me. But we were in a situation, you know, a few weeks ago, there was a gentleman who died over at Delaware Park, who was shot over a basketball game. You know, and I had a similar situation. I was volunteering and working at a community center over at Crucial. You know, sometimes it's hard for me to talk, but it's, I was volunteering, working with young people, talking to them. And in that situation, we had 2 young men rushed back into the community center. And I was talking with the guys. It was cold. It was the end of January, and we're like, and it was a new community center. It was on Moselle Street, and we wanted to make sure that everything was right. I had just talked with the guys beforehand. So the guys rushed in. They didn't sign in, so I went in after them. I was gonna say, like, guys, you got to sign in, and I went in and I heard 3 bangs. And the gentleman looked at me. What I saw initially was 2 boys fighting, and I was like, just like you would see anything, I got a little ticked off, and I just went over to them to break up the fight. I was like, oh, come on, guys, And one gentleman, the gentleman who shot the gentleman who fell down, he had that look in his eye, just one for a second, like, what did I just do? And there were children in the gym. And so he ran out of the gym. We secured the gym. We made sure that nobody left. Grabbed the gentleman, was doing CPR, was holding him, was trying to talk to him. At the end of the day, he died. I say that story not to glorify it, but I say it because that happened more than about 15 years ago. And we are still in a situation where guns, are still around, and folks are making bad choices regarding that. And so we have to do better. And so hopefully the Dear Howard Amendment and us creating awareness regarding that, my life was changed forevermore, and it doubled me down to make sure that I was committed as a public servant to make sure that we help people. It doubled down to make sure that we did that. And they end up, catching the guy. I always said there was 2 young men's lives that were lost that day. The person who died and the one who went to jail, and so at some point in time, we just have to do better, and we will, so let's create some awareness, let's get out and walk, and let's talk about what's happening in this community in that respect too. I don't want to leave that on a bad note. I want to say that the community center is still viable. The Urban League is I'm going to be doing their opening at that community center. I still have that young man who died had a son, and I'm still in contact and working and hanging out with his son as a mentee, a mentor. But those things make a difference to a community and build a community. So make sure, come out at 2 p.m. on this day, and let's create some solidarity. Linda, I thought I saw you had your hand up.
Yes, hi Oswaldo. That was quite a recall of something that had happened to you, and I know that kind of trauma doesn't go away. So I'm glad you're putting it to good use by helping all of us and others as well. Speaking of helping others, I have been collecting for the Afghani evacuees that we're expected to have. We just got the number yesterday, 335, I believe it is, evacuees that we're getting here in Buffalo. And there are 5 organizations that have joined together to join forces together, Jericho Road, Catholic Charities, Jewish Family Services. There's 2 others. I'm sorry, I can't recall them at the moment, but I have been collecting at my house, and I don't know where to take the items to. And I was wondering if anybody online happens to know. I've had a difficult time getting a hold of all the agencies. They're probably swamped right now. But I am still collecting. The gift cards. They need everything. There is online. There is. I have the web address here in a second. But they're trying to collect $750,000, and they're only at like 53,000. Every little bit helps. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see if I can find this website, and I will put it on the chat here. But it's really, I can't imagine the trauma these people have been through trying to leave their country, and oh God, it breaks my heart every time I think about it. I'm so sorry. I don't have this information right off my head.
No, that's all right. I think the one thing we can do is, if anybody, and I'm gonna amplify this. If you do want to make donations, you want to do that. make sure that, I know we all have gently used stuff, but if you can buy new stuff, right? If you can, maybe some sheets, or maybe it's a sweater, or maybe it's a
Right.
coat, maybe it's some gloves, or that, not that you're not going to take gently used stuff though, but at the end of the day, there's nothing that's better that comes in the package. You don't have to wash that or whatever. Hold on to that, or bring it to Linda, or we can work with Linda to find places that we can get that, because I think it's about 300, right?
Yeah. 335. So I did put my address in the chat box here if anybody wants to donate. So it's Western New York. Here it's www.westernNewYorkRAC.org, and they have created their own website for Buffalo United for Afghani. So and there's all kinds of pages. You can create your own fundraising page. There's a place to donate, you can find all the information there. Unfortunately, they told me they had to update their website daily, and I still can't find where to take all my goods. But the important thing is I do have a pile here, and they will be going to the Afghani people. And I know they have a lot of volunteers who are going to be putting the packages together and things like that. So these 5 organizations have really pulled together. It's really pretty amazing. Our community is amazing.
Yeah.
Our community is amazing. So it's Buffalo United for Afghani Evacuees. And that's that. I just wanted to sneak that in here today.
No. And Linda, when you get more information, share it with us and Nicole, and we'll push that out as well.
It's Catholic Charities of Buffalo, International Institute of Buffalo, Jericho Road Community Healthcare, Jewish Family Services, and Journeys End Refugee Services are the 5 agencies that have collaborated to pull their resources together. And boy, isn't that great?
That's
nothing
beautiful.
like collaboration, right?
We do that
we're all
well.
about.
We do that well.
We do. So God bless all of you, and stay well and be well, and let's do what we can for each other.
Good. I think that's it. And I think,
thank you for this time.
Thank you, Linda. I think providing those resources, but I think that showing them the love when they first come in, I think is important. I said, I mentioned this, we all navigate relationships, right? And if you do that right from the beginning, when we are challenged, we can recover from it. That's an important thing. We all navigate relationships, right? And if you do that from the beginning, right, so that when challenges happen, we have a better response. Sometimes we don't do that. We don't navigate those relationships well. And so when we are challenged, it's harder for us to deal with it. And so I think, whether it be the Afghanis or whomever is coming in, how we manage those relationships in the very beginning is going to be important. Well, thank you for today. I told you I started off, I just absolutely love this hour of the week. It brings me joy, and I know it does something to each and every one of you. I look forward to seeing you next Friday. Again, thank you for our speaker. I'm always impressed by all of our speakers. It brings the best out of us. And so thank you again, Melissa. We'll be talking, and thank you all.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next Friday. All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Nice job, Linda, as always. See you next week.
Okay, Deb, thank you. Yes.
Do they need clothes as well?
They do need clothes. I mean, think about winter coming. They're going to need coats and boots and earmuffs and all that. They're really looking for supplies and cash donations, I think, more than anything, but they do need clothes. Think about coming here with nothing, but I know that they're asking for more of the staples of things for day-to-day, toothbrushes and feminine goods and pots and pans and dishes and silverware, glasses, that kind of thing. Towels, just they had to leave with nothing.
Right. Thank you. I will gather some stuff.
That'd be great. That would be great. And also look at the website, wnyrac.org, and they have a list of everything that they're looking for. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, thank you.
You're
Hey,
welcome.
Linda,
Thank you.
Linda, this is Ellen. Did
Hi,
you
Ellen.
how you doing, honey? Did you actually forward that to the Board of Block Club email so we can have that information?
I
so we can know where
believe
to
I
donate?
did a couple weeks ago, but I'll do it again. I'll do it
Okay,
again.
thank you.
Okay,
I
all
appreciate
right.
it.
You're welcome, Ellen. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye now.
All right, bye-bye, guys. Take
Bye.
care.
Thanks.